Hello, I am back to share with you how I sew my pages into the book. So first what you do is you go ahead and you get out your ruler and you measure the spine. Remember, we have a 1-inch spine, and then you divide that space by how many signatures you're going to be putting in. Since we're going to be putting in 3 for me for this one, and I put a piece of washi tape here to help me with my measurements. Right, and as you can see, it's at, what is this? I don't know. It looks like every 1/4 of an inch. So at 1/4 of an inch, at 2/4 of an inch, and 3/4 of an inch is where we're going to be putting our signatures at. So I mark it on my piece of washi tape here, and then I go to the top of the page, and then I mark it down on the top of the page. And then I go to the bottom of the page and I mark it down on the bottom of the page. And then I also have a a piece of scrap paper that I have folded in half. I think it's like 3 or 4 inches wide. Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 inches wide. And I've made it the height of my signatures, which ours are 5 7/8. Okay, and then I've divided this up into 3 because that's how many stitches we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And then I've taken this piece of paper and I've lined it up with my marks. Okay, and centered it inside the spine. And then where the holes are, I've made a mark here too. And then you do that for the second tick mark, line it up at the top, line it up at the bottom, put your 3 marks. And then do it for the third one. Line it up at the top, line it up at the bottom, put your 3 marks. Okay? And then you take a pointy tool, an awl or a pokey tool, you know, for your die cutting, whatever. And then you go ahead and you poke your holes. You definitely want to make sure that you are protecting your craft surface. I am just using a composition notebook that I've, taken apart. Okay? And this is to ensure that all your holes line up nice and straight. Well, as straight as they can anyway. As you can see, not all mine are. Alright. Sorry, guys. I know, I'm silent. Okay. And then we can go ahead and erase all of our pencil marks. Sorry, my 1-year-old has decided that he needs to help me. Alright, see, so now you have your holes for your, signatures. And then what you do is you take your signature, which remember is just all the paper nestled together. You open it up to the center bit. You take your piece of paper, stick it inside, and make sure that you are but you are lining up the same edge every time. I've written on my top, and so I line up the top with the top of the signature every single time, because sometimes the holes aren't exactly evenly spaced. And then you take your pointy tool and you just poke it on down there in those holes that have been pre-measured. And this is again to ensure that all your holes line up perfectly. Well, as they can anyway. Alright. So now I'm going to put that away. And, stop, baby bug. Sorry, I'm kind of anal about keeping my craft area clean because it's such a little area. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we are going to get some, I use embroidery floss. This is the DMC embroidery floss, and that is what I use to sew in my signatures. You can use waxed thread, you can use tapestry thread, whatever you want to use. Okay, and I use the DMC tapestry needles. They have a blunted end and a big eyelet, or a big eye hole, and it's just a lot easier. So we just, take a bit of the floss. I'm not sure. It's this much. Sorry guys, I'm not a precise measurer here. Okay, and we thread it through. You have to, lick your floss first. That's the most important part of this whole entire process, right? Is licking the floss. There we go. Okay, and then we take our signature. I want this one first. All I've taken is some binder clips, and I've clipped them on the pages so then the pages don't shift and wiggle whenever I'm trying to sew them in. Yeah. Okay, you go in through the middle. Well, actually, we can go out here. Whichever side you want to tie this on is the one you want to go through first. And since we're going to be covering up the spine, I am perfectly fine with tying on the spine. And then see, we just poke it right through. Not sure if you guys can see that. Right through the spine, and then right through our papers. It should be fairly well. Sorry guys, this is like the worst part. Because sometimes you see, you lose your paper, and so you have to try and find this stupid hole. There we go. Okay. And you pull it through with just enough of a tail so then you can tie it later. And then you can either go up or down, it doesn't really matter. Go in, ouch. Back in through that hole. And then back in through your signature pieces. Okay, and then you go in through the bottom. Oops, piece got tucked in there. There we go. Okay. I keep saying ouch because I don't know if you guys can see, but I've cut myself recently and it really hurts. Alright, let's go ahead and take those little thingies off. And then what you want to do is pull your signatures really nice and tight. And then you are going to want to knot this. You're going to want to do right over left and left over right. Just to make sure that it's, really nice and secure. I usually don't know. Because I usually get, confused as to which right and which left I went over first, and And then see, that's how you do it. And all you need to do then is sew in your second and third signatures. And I will be right back. All right, bye.